Shringla to visit Dhaka amid NRC unease. Foreign Secretary Harsh Vardhan Shringla will arrive in Dhaka on Monday in preparation of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's three-day mid-March visit to attend the centenary celebrations of Bangladesh's first President Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. Shringla was in Kabul on Sunday, the day the Taliban-US peace pact was signed in Doha, and met almost the entire government leadership in a show of solidarity by India. Shringla is visiting Bangladesh at a time when there is both tension and bonhomie in ties. India and Bangladesh have been advancing cooperation in several areas, connectivity being the most important. At the same time, there is unease in Dhaka over the NRC Assam and statements by BJP leaders that all infiltrators will be sent back to Bangladesh. Two Bangla ministers had cancelled their visits when the CA-NRC stir was at its peak. Shringla is acutely familiar with Bangladesh, having served as High Commissioner and earlier helming the process of finalising the Indo-Bangla land boundary. Greeks fear invasion of migrants across Turkish border. Customs, Greece. Greece was on a state of alert as it faced an influx of thousands of migrants seeking to cross the border from Turkey, with locals fearing a new immigration crisis. "This is an invasion," said Georgos Kermapotsakis, mayor of Marastia village, a common border crossing near the Evros River on Sunday. More than 13,000 migrants have gathered on the Turkish side of the river, which runs 200 kilometers, 125 miles, along the frontier and separates them from Greece and therefore the European Union. The flow of migrants from Turkey has triggered EU fears of a rerun of the 2015 migrant emergency when Greece became the main EU entry point for 1 million migrants, most of them refugees fleeing the Syrian civil war. "This is what happened in 2015, it's repeating itself. Thousands at our borders, God help us," said a 63-year-old resident of the border village of Customs who gave her name only as Panayota. Back then it was Greek islands like Lesbos and Chios that bore the brunt. Endless migration crisis. Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan has raised the stakes by vowing to allow refugees to travel to Europe from NATO member Turkey as a way to pressure EU governments over the Syrian conflict across its southern border. "What we are seeing is an endless migration crisis. What is Europe doing? What measures is it taking?" asked Yannis Siskoglou, a resident of Marastia. "There are thousands of migrants at the border and there is no return route for them," he told AFP. Greek police have been attempting to maintain calm and contain the flow of migrants, on Sunday using water cannon on them. Migrants pressed on with efforts to enter Greece. Some attempted to swim across rivers or duck under fences, while others dragged suitcases as they marched towards the border where large crowds of migrants waited, some wrapped in blankets or sleeping on dirt mounds. Emergency meeting. Greek Prime Minister Kyriakos Mitsotakis called an emergency meeting with his foreign affairs and defense teams for Sunday evening to carve out a strategy. They decided to step up the level of deterrence at Greece's eastern borders to the maximum and to suspend submission of new asylum applications by those illegally entering the country for 1 month. Greek government spokesman Stelios Petsas on Sunday attacked Turkey over the situation. Turkey, rather than controlling the migrant and refugee trafficking rings, has itself become a trafficker, he said in a statement. Petsas added that Turkey was using the people gathered at the border as pawns in order to exercise diplomatic pressure. "The current situation constitutes an active, serious, exceptional and asymmetric threat to the country's national security," Petsas said. Greek authorities have already boosted border patrols, using loudhailers to call on the migrants to stay on the Turkish side. The Greek government has also set up an automatic texting system for foreign mobile phones approaching the border, sending them the message, "Greece is maximizing border security. Do not try to cross borders illegally." In the previous 24 hours, Greece blocked some 10,000 people from getting across its borders. Since 6 a.m. on Sunday, a total of 5,500 people were barred from entering Greece illegally and 60 people were arrested and charged with illegally entering the country, government sources said late Sunday. However, some people had managed to make their way across the Evros River, the source added. Angry islanders. On the Greek islands, where a steady flow of inflatable dinghy and other crammed and unseaworthy craft arrived across the Aegean Sea in 2015, the locals have had enough. Despite Greece's efforts, a number of boats full of migrants arrived on the Greek island of Lesbos early Sunday. A group of local people on Lesbos managed to stop around 50 migrants, including children, from landing their boat after several hours at sea, an AFP photographer witnessed. Shouting, "Go back to Turkey," furious locals at the port of Thermi blocked the boats and hurled insults at the local representative of the UN Refugees Agency, while others attacked journalists and photographers, hitting them and throwing cameras into the water. "We have got nothing against the refugees, but those who are prepared to come here must understand that this is how we will receive them now," said Dispoina, a 47-year-old islander. On the road to the overcrowded Moria camp on the island, another group of local people used chains and rocks to try to block the route of a police bus transporting migrants who arrived Sunday, the Greek news agency ANA reported. "The anger of the people of Moria is justified," said South Lesbos Mayor Taxiarchis Varos. "Moria can't take any more arrivals." Steven Spielberg's daughter injured her fiancé's wrist by throwing things at him when they got into an argument after they left Nashville bar, arrest record says. Steven Spielberg's adopted 23-year-old daughter became violent with her fiancé and began throwing things at him during an argument, authorities said. Michaela was charged with domestic assault causing bodily harm against Chuck Pankov, 47, on Saturday and booked into the Hill Detention Center in Nashville, Tennessee, at 6:33 a.m. Her arrest was confirmed to DailyMail.com by a spokesperson for the office. WZTV reports that the incident sparked after Michaela and Pankov got into an argument after returning from a bar around 4 a.m. Tensions escalated when Pankov made a rude comment toward Spielberg, prompting her to get angry and throw objects at him. Authorities did not disclose what type of objects were allegedly launched at Pankov, but one object struck his hand and left a visible injury. It resulted in dried blood on his hand, a swollen wrist and marks on the skin. Officers later said the injuries appeared fresh and recent. Both Michaela and Pankov admitted the dispute to authorities when they arrived at the scene. It's unclear who called Nashville police. However, Michaela reportedly changed her version of the domestic dispute and made conflicting statements, authorities said. They determined Michaela was the aggressor in the incident based off of the victim's statements, his visible injuries and her changing statements. Pankov refused to prosecute Pankov of the alleged domestic assault, but authorities are prosecuting on her behalf. Chuck Pankov previously told Fox News that the incident was a misunderstanding. "No one is hurt," Pankov, a professional dart player, said. After her arrest, someone posted a $1,000 bond on Spielberg's behalf. She is scheduled to be released after her mandatory 12-hour hold expires. Michaela revealed last week that she was embarking on a new career as a porn star. Sources told The Sun that while her famous director father and his wife, actress Kate Capshaw, support their child, they are also embarrassed about her decision to pursue work in the world of adult films. Outwardly, Stephen and Kate, who are the most evolved parents in the world and love their kids beyond all measure, have always been supportive of Michaela and try to understand her, a family friend told the publication. Obviously, though, they are embarrassed by her sudden public admission of entry into the sex worker world. In a new interview, the Nashville-based adult film star, who was adopted as a baby by Spielberg, 73, and his wife Kate Capshaw, 66, revealed that she only recently told her parents about her new line of work, but said that they have been very supportive of her career choice. "My safety has always been a number one priority for them," she told The Sun, while revealing that she broke the news to them via FaceTime over the weekend. "I'm doing this, not out of an urge to hurt anybody or be spiteful about it. I'm doing this because I want to honor my body in a way that's lucrative." Describing herself as a sexual creature, Michaela went on to explain that she was eager to find a way to capitalize on her body, having grown frustrated with working in a more traditional job that wasn't satisfying her soul. She also shared that her new career has given her a feeling of empowerment and confidence that she never thought she would be able to have, with the budding stripper revealing that she suffered abuse at the hand of predators as a child, which later sparked a series of mental health issues. Over the past few years, Michaela has struggled with anorexia, borderline personality disorder, and alcoholism, all of which she says are the result of childhood sexual abuse. However, she notes that her abusers were not a part of her family, or her parents' inner circle of friends. Michaela explained that the work she is now doing in the porn industry makes her feel good, because she is able to satisfy others without being violated. Thus far, Michaela has only worked on solo videos, which she self-produced and then published on popular free porn website Pornhub. However, she has since removed her clips because she wants to obtain her Tennessee adult entertainment permit before sharing any more content. And while she says she is open to trying fetish work, Michaela insists that she will not have sex with another person on camera out of respect for her fiancé Chuck, who she describes as being 100% supportive of her career. While Chuck is supportive now, she admits that he took some time to get to grips with her adult film work, something that she says was due in part to his southern background, noting that there is still so much shame around it in the South. The reason I don't want to do anything outside of solo stuff is because I feel like it would be a violation of my boundaries and my relationship with my significant other, she said, adding that she thinks she would be great at fetish work. Michaela's porn videos thus far have focused primarily on her naturally large breasts, which she refers to as her moneymaker, and which she admits she never felt proud of until trying porn for the first time. Honestly, I have hated my chest for so long, but I have finally learned to embrace it. That was one of the things when I uploaded these first couple of videos. I realized, this is the moneymaker, my large chest, she said. Her videos have featured titles like, I give my huge natural breasts some love and care with rose tea oil, and huge-breasted woman pleasures herself in calm environment. Although Michaela has since removed her videos from Pornhub, she says that she had already amassed quite a dedicated following of fans, who said cool things about her body and her work, something that she described as nice and refreshing. People can often say really upsetting things about a black woman's body sometimes, she added. But while her clips have been well received on Pornhub, Michaela has faced backlash from within her social circle in Tennessee, blaming any resentment on the fact, the environment we live in right now. She also insists that her choice to go into porn is not about hitting bottom, but rather about owning her sexuality and making money. Her goal now is to make enough in the industry so she's not tied down financially by things. I can't stay dependent on my parents or even the state for that matter, not that there's anything wrong with that, it just doesn't feel comfortable for me, she said. Forbes has estimated that her father's net worth is somewhere between $3.7 billion and $6.08 billion. In his illustrious Hollywood career, he has directed and produced more than 100 feature films, including Jaws, E.T., Jurassic Park, Schindler's List, Saving Private Ryan, The Goonies, Indiana Jones, Hook, Catch Me If You Can, and The Post. And Michaela thinks that both of her amazing parents will approve of her path, once they see how far I have come. They are going to look at this and go, wow, we actually raised a really self-assured young lady, she said. Michaela didn't mention what her siblings thought of her chosen career. The porn star has 3 brothers and 3 sisters. Her oldest sister, Jessica Capshaw, 43, was her mom Kate's daughter with ex-husband Robert Capshaw, and is now a famous actress in her own right. There's also brother Max, 33, sister Sasha, 29, brother Sawyer, 27, sister Destry, 23, and brother Theo, 31, who was also adopted. But while quite a few of her siblings popped up in their dad's films over the years, Michaela seems to have shied away from the spotlight until now. She said that as a child she was spoiled, but responsibly, and her parents raised her to understand the value of hard work, human dignity, and how poverty impacts the world. Michaela noted that she and her dad were close, describing him as an angel who loves that she knows her own mind. They liked to play computer games together and have dorky conversations, in which her dad would nurture her creativity and identity. But she started to develop issues as she got older, attributing her problems to abuse she suffered from someone outside the family. By 11, she had started drinking to cope with her trauma, and as a teenager she was sent to a boarding school for troubled teens. But rather than help get her in line, it worsened her anxiety, depression, self-hatred, and attachment issues. It was there that she developed an eating disorder. She continued to drink for years, and at age 21 was drinking every day. She admits she almost died a couple times. Still, she said unequivocally that it wasn't her parents' fault, and they couldn't have known what she was dealing with. I have had my fights and struggles with them, but it's only out of fear that people sometimes care incorrectly because they want you to be alive and safe, she said. They are some of the least spiteful people I know. I love them so deeply.